Hello everyone, Daniel here from the Next Issue Podcast. On today's video, I'll be doing a review for Moon Knight Episode 4. As always, I will start with a non-spoiler part, then jump to spoilers. I'll give you plenty of warning if you haven't seen the episode. So let's get into it. Uh, man, Overall, this episode was very good. I really enjoyed what they showed. I can understand why when Marvel gave reviewers advanced episodes, they stopped here. I feel like this one is the one that kind of really changes everything. Think back to stuff like episode 3 of WandaVision, something like that. This one's where you're like, okay, we're really getting into it. Uh, as always, the portrayals are really good. I really love Oscar Isaac doing, multiple portrayals. I think he's really good. And just the whole cast around them. They just really bring it. There was some stuff introduced this episode that I'm like, okay, we're going there, we're getting into it. It definitely felt a lot more enhanced when it comes to the mythology and the fantasy than the previous episodes, even though we just got introduced to some really big stuff in the previous one. Like I think Marvel and the writing team and everybody working on the show, they just really want to ramp it up. Um, this was very long, very well paced, and visually just stunning in multiple ways. We have very different sets that we see during this episode, and everything just kind of like there's so much detail into everything that goes into here. So yeah, I very much enjoyed this fourth episode, and I highly recommend you go check it out if you haven't. Moon Knight is just it's been kind of like this joy that I did not know, like I didn't expect for this show to be this good. So I'm excited to see where everything goes from here. We're at the point where now no one has seen the fifth episode, like nobody that's outside of Marvel and stuff. So yeah, very interested in how that's gonna play out. So stay tuned. Follow us on social media. We'll do a big talk about the episode on our next live as well. We have a few things we have to talk about 3 and 4 because we didn't talk about it on the last live. And come back, see us. Stay tuned for more comic reviews. We are about to get into spoilers in a little bit, but just make sure to hit that hit that subscribe button. We're so close to 600 subscribers, which is really cool. All right, so from here on forward, we're getting into spoilers. We're getting into it. Um, so we get a lot of things happening in this episode, and it feels like it's kind of split up into two. We have all the stuff that's happening in the desert as Layla and Steven get back to the tomb. Really fun action sequence with the cars and the flares. I just love the look of the desert at night, but they somehow still manage it. I would be interested to see how you shoot a scene like that because in the desert there really is no lights other than whatever light source you're bringing. So I don't know. That seems really interesting. We know that something big happened last episode, Khonshu's away, which left me questioning: does that mean that that Moon Knight loses his powers? And it appears that that is the way it is. And now that Khonshu's been trapped, which is a little weird because we know Emmet is trapped, but Harlow still has a little bit of her power. So maybe Moon Knight has a residual amount of Khonshu's power, which is kind of what could be leading to the next sequence. I'm really excited to see other people break down the second part of this episode. So we do get to see that Steven and Layla get back to the tomb, and it feels like it's I don't know, for some reason it feels like it's very empty, and that didn't throw anyone off. Like that didn't raise the alarms for them, and I felt that was a little weird, because like there was a big operation. So I don't know. Ethan Hawke just like he's got a big plans for things. We get to the tomb, we discover after the team gets split up, Layla fights this like mummy type of thing, like which has been dissecting people there, which is weird. Like, are those sacrifices for when Emmett comes back? I would think that's preparation for Emmett coming back. Maybe that was one of her disciples. I believe they addressed the name in the show. And then we get to see Steven as he just kind of. I love his enthusiasm for discovering all this Egyptian stuff and the archaeology and like all this stuff. Like he really truly appreciates it. Like if this wasn't a matter of life and death for the world, like I feel like he'd be having the time of his life. which really comes through in the portrayal. But then we discover the tomb of Alexander the Great, who was the avatar of Emmett, which is insane. I mean, it's a little bit interesting to think that maybe that's how he became the conqueror that he was. Um, so yeah, that was a lot of fun. But then unfortunately, Mark, Steven, they get shot, and then we transform into this like completely different show. The latter half of the show was just incredible. Like we're in this mind place, like this asylum for people, and Oscar Isaac is there as Mark, and we get some familiar faces there. It almost felt like that episode of Buffy where like she thinks she's in an institution, and the Slayer stuff has always been just in her head. I really thought they were gonna go that route, but they definitely did not. They immediately swerved. Um, Another fun detail is when Steven meets Mark in corporeal bodies after they try to escape. Uh, really fun. Yeah, and then once the ones are trying to escape, as it seems like they get to this door, we see Toweret, the Egyptian god that looks like a hippo, which had been hinted at and introduced earlier on in the season. So it looks like Mark or Khonshu has an ally. Um, I don't really know who she's trying to help. Maybe she's just trying to help Mark. So we'll see. I don't know. It seems like the last part of the show felt very surreal. There was a moment where they cut in to this like 4:3 ratio where they were showing this movie about an explorer named Stephen Grant, which really tripped me out. So, yeah, this one was a lot of fun, but maybe I'm thinking this one might be I thought the issue one was going to be the most divisive. I feel like this one's going to be the most divisive amongst the fandom because it truly changes the tone of what we've been watching for the past for 3.5 episodes prior to that. So we'll see. Let us know down in the comments if you enjoyed it. Let us know what you thought of the episode. I'm here for it, and like I said, we're all in new grounds now. Nobody's seen anything past this. I can't believe that people that review this show got to this point and are not going insane to watch the next one. So yeah, there you have it. As always, thanks for watching, everyone. Remember to share, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you know when we go live. That is most Sundays, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Stay tuned because we have more trailer reactions, TV recaps, comic reviews, all that good stuff. On our next live, we'll be talking about The Batman now that it's available on HBO Max. And go check out our last live for some really bad comic book movies. We're still coming up with our list. Also, remember to check out our audio podcast. Links should be in the description of everything. Give us, give us a subscribe there. We're trying to grow the audio podcast again. So I'm very happy to be doing all this stuff. And yeah, we'll see you guys. We'll have a bunch more videos for the week. I'm excited to see where Moon Knight takes us from here. So, as always, thanks for watching, everyone. Bye bye.